Through counselors' efforts with Detroit Eviction Defense and moratorium now, we were able to regain my home back. But in that process, I found out that it was several people in my neighborhood on my block that was going through the same thing because overassessment of taxes. This is illegal. This is heartbreaking because you guys are destroying the neighborhoods. You're destroying the neighborhoods. We have the people that have stayed and fought. We are the true Detroiters that threw on the riot and the unsafe neighborhoods and no police services that we stayed. We've lost many countless matriarchs that have been in our neighborhoods for years because of the illegal tax foreclosures. We need to stop this process. You asked for solutions. We have a few solutions to this problem. One of them would be a moratorium on tax foreclosures.
That's right. Yeah.
The other one would be to redirect the step forward funds, the hardest hit funds, and redirect that back to the people and pull people out of the auction this year for August. Allow them to stay. How can we get excited about what's going on and happening in the city, in downtown, when the neighborhoods are losing out? You're taking pictures of all these wonderful things that's happening right here on Woodward, but the neighborhoods are suffering. We still have a lot of blight. We're still losing our homes. We're still losing our families and our neighbors that are friends that we've had for 60 and 70 years. This is a practice that needs to stop. I'm going to continue to fight until the last fight is fought, until I don't have any breath in my body because of this. I've lost so many friends, and it's not going to happen again. I hope today that we get a victory. I'm praying today that we get a victory today in the courtroom. And I just thank you for allowing me to speak.
This is Angela Tiggs.
Actually, it's Andrea Tiggs, and I'm a taxpayer in the city of Detroit. I work in the city of Detroit. I live in the city of Detroit. I have actually exhausted my 401k money because every year I have to pull that money out to save my house out of foreclosure. When I bought my home 5 years ago, I already owed 6 years back taxes on the house. And I'm just praying, as well as she is, that this will end today. I'm not trying to lose my home, and I'm not trying to lose my retirement in the process. Thank you.
All right, we want to bring up Yvonne Jones from the Detroit Active and Retired Employees Association.
Good morning.
Morning.
What's happening in Detroit and across the country to African Americans is likened to genocide. African Americans in Detroit and across the country have lost trillions of dollars due to the loss of their homes because of foreclosures, predatory lenders, and loss of jobs. And no one seems to think that this is wrong and that this is not systematic. Something has to be done, and something has to be done now. The legacy of having a home and passing it to the next generation, amassing wealth for African Americans in this country is at an all-time low. It is lower today than it was before the Housing Act. There's got to be a problem with that. How is that happening? A 50-year time low of home ownership. And it is a direct result of these tax foreclosures and the predatory lenders. It has to stop, and it has to stop now. We're demanding that something is done, and done now, because it is assault on African Americans. Thank you.
All right. We have Jerry Cullors here from Detroit Eviction Defense. You want to say a few words from...
Good morning, everyone. I'm with Detroit Eviction Defense, and I have been with the Detroit Eviction Defense since 2012, and that was because Detroit Eviction Defense came and saved my home. I was due for eviction on Halloween of 2012. Detroit Eviction Defense and Moratorium Now showed up at my home, blocked the dumpster, blocked the police, did everything that was possible for me to win. We won in court. Bank of America sent me an email saying you have one fantastic organization. We've never seen an organization like this. Yeah. So therefore, we're going to give you the modification that you asked for. That's how I ended up almost losing my home, because my wife and I asked for a modification. I mean, come on, you know, it's ridiculous. You know, we weren't behind. We didn't owe taxes or anything. All we wanted to do was to have the payments on our home equal to the value of our home.
There you go.
The value was down, but the payments were up. This is one thing that we need to stop. The city of Detroit, we need to adjust everything when it comes to the homes in this city. You talk about you want to bring Detroit back, you want to make Detroit wonderful. How about starting with the neighborhoods, the neighbors, the people who actually live here, who stayed when the city was down in the bottom. Those are the ones that you should be giving things to, giving breaks to. These are the people that have sacrificed. These are the people who have chose to stay through good and bad. Now it's time for the city and the county to adjust their ability to take care of these people. I mean, it's fantastic that you could build a tram to nowhere. Hey, that's fantastic, you know. But it's time for you to build a life for the people who live here. We work here. We pay our taxes here. It's time for you to pay us back. Let's not just overlook the fact that you have a city of black people. It's black people everywhere across this country. It's black people everywhere around this world. You can't ignore us. And we're not going to let you ignore us. We're not going to let you sit back here and say we're going to kick all of you out of your homes. We work for these homes. People work 30 years, 40 years for these homes. I retired for my home. Why can I not have the correct payments for my home? You know, come on, you can get, like I said, you can give people $20,000 to move here, but you can't adjust the payments and the values of my home. Come on, you know, I was here. I fought for this country. What do I get back in return? Besides the headache that I'm dealing with now. You know, but I hope and pray that what happens today in the courts will come out in our favor. Thank you.
All right, we want to bring up Attorney Jerome Goldberg, who has been an anti-foreclosure lawyer for the last decade.
Jerry.
Just say a couple words. Last week, Quicken Loans was assessed an $11 million judgment by a West Virginia judge for their fraudulent predatory lending practices, specifically for artificially inflating mortgage values, artificially inflating home values based on no appraisals whatsoever, in order to stick people into loans that ultimately they would not be able to pay when they adjusted upward based on subprime and adjustable rate loans, could not refinance because their home values had no resemblance to their actual home value, and then they lost their home. So when we talk about the tax foreclosures, we should go and also point the finger at the banks. It's the banks that came in with their predatory lending practices, artificially inflated the value of homes all over Detroit to put poor people in predatory loans all over the city. And now what's going on, those people have been forced to pay taxes on home values that have no resemblance to their actual home values because of these predatory lending practices. And to make matters worse, the step forward funds, the federal funds that are pittance from the federal bank bailout that are earmarked to keep people in their homes, who does Duggan cut a deal to give them to? To Gilbert and his Blight Task Force, the corrupt Blight Task Force that's riddled with criminal investigations that gets the funds that's supposed to be keep people in their home and using them to tear them down. So we are here in solidarity with this lawsuit, in solidarity with this campaign to say that tax foreclosures are based on unconstitutional assessments, unconstitutional and fraudulent assessments, to demand that the Court of Appeals reinstate this case, to demand a moratorium on all tax foreclosures, and to demand compensation for all those who lost their homes, and the city doesn't have the funds to pay it. Let them go after the banks who are responsible for this crisis.